greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. The chances, the changes are all yours to make. The mold of your life is in your...
Alright, so, hi, this is...
No, I wanted the opening one second. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the end of the world. It's September 23rd, and we are Dungeons and Back again. I'm Randy.
I'm your DM, Bobby from the internet.
Bobby from the internet.
Reddit and YouTube.
Louder.
Reddit and YouTube.
Yes, you need a louder voice than I do.
Still taking them directions from a player. We are...
It's the only agency I have in any of this.
Leading from the bottom. We are now in our post-game wrap-up. This is the wrap-up show, you might even call it, of Dungeons and Back Again, Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan, or however you pronounce it.
Apparently it's Tamoachan?
I just wasn't going to do that.
But I like the idea that we have a dungeon that's personified as a moe anime girl, a moe blob. Tamoachan.
And so now what we're going to do in this episode, which I don't even know what episode it is, but I'll just call it Epilogue or something.
Yeah.
Is we're going to go
Post-mortem.
through... I gave him the module, and we're going to go through it room by room and see what he did and analyze it.
And just as a reminder before we start, we are doing the first edition.
Yeah, AD&D, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Not exactly first edition. First edition is even shittier than this. This is Advanced Dungeons & Dragons.
Sorry, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons.
It's like 1.1, I guess. I don't know.
Where it was home ruled, there's not the tournament thing. So that's the very first thing I want to mention right away. Is that if this was the tournament, I would have been dead by Mr. Crab.
The tournament says right here that you're supposed to be given poison in the first room, and I mean the whole first lower level, all the way up to the beetle room, was supposed to essentially be poison. So you're supposed to basically take damage pretty much every 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And I got rid of that part because I thought it was stupid. And I mean that was for tournament play. That was for people who have an hour and a half or something like that to get as far as they can. And I guess you're supposed to just run through this place and just avoid everything possible.
Like I did.
Yeah. But I took that out because I thought it would kill him too fast. This is our tutorial.
This was our tutorial, us trying to get used to it by having a very contained adventure.
Yep.
The greatest adventure, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So so we'll start in the first room. So the first room you went into, it's called the Vault of Chikoma's Tack, the place of 7 caves. You went in and it was the room with all the little dioramas.
Yeah, that starting chamber. So just a quick recap.
Yeah.
I completely ignored everything he said and went, "Thief, use your knock on the door, and we'll just walk right through it." And he went, "Okay," and we walked out without ignoring everything.
Yeah, you didn't. There was actually a key in the, which actually I think
there was a puzzle.
I had the
thief's carrying it.
I actually had the thief solve it for him afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, look, a key!" But there was supposed to be a key in one of the little figurines' hands to open the door. But I guess you could just use the damn knock spell. But
yeah, we just straight up said, "Okay, we're gonna burn this knock spell." And
because in this game, I let you sleep and regenerate your spells, whereas in the original tournament play, I guess you would have had to. You'd be limited in your spells.
Well, I was also paranoid because he still started off with the opening text of Rial the Barbarian sits quietly, nose raised, sniffing carefully. After a moment, he fears confirmed. He informs the other two, the air in this place is bad poisonous.
And if you had touched any of those figurines and threw them on the ground, they would have turned into monsters you'd have to fight, too.
So the first combat encounter I avoided.
Yep. This first hallway here was just stupid. I think somehow you have to hit that stupid trap no matter what you do.
It's a learning exercise. I was looking at the damage on it. Yeah, it's not a lot of damage.
There's basically nothing.
We basically
nothing you can do to avoid that stupid.
We basically did a Three Stooges skit there. Wise guy, eh? Mm-hmm. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
The next room, the room with the crab, and the little crayfish.
My best friend, Mr. Crab, and that jerk crayfish. Yeah,
the crab was you could fight it. I'll read the official names. The hallway is called the Hallway of Thrashing Canes, which you did get through. You can't avoid that. This game is so stupid. No. I like to point out for AD&D, there's no detect traps really from the thief ability, a skill. The only way you can really detect anything is with the spell.
Yeah, but how did I get around that? Tie the thief up with a rope, send him ahead of me, and tell him, look for traps.
Mm-hmm. You use them like a dog, like a hound.
Seek.
A trap hound. The next room was the Roost of the Conch, and that's where you met the crab who talked to you. You could have fought him, but there was no point because...
Technically, re-listening to that early episode, I should have been in combat right then and there. Because I'm like, screw this, and I threatened the stupid little crayfish with my bow and arrow, and my people goes, no! And then he goes, wakes him up, and then I go, oh, well, great ancestor, I'm sorry.
Great ancestor turned out to be his catchphrase, by the way. Just trying to appease everything in this place. Which might not have been Jacob's Ladder. Hell.
Yeah.
As he's died and went through the stages of whatever. Or Dante's Inferno for the Aztecs / whatever culture they're supposed to be. So yeah, you talked to the crab. The crab misdirected you the wrong way.
Yeah, but on purpose.
Yeah, he does do that on purpose.
I like that your depiction of him there's no guile to it either. It's like, I think you go that way first.
It's a fucking crab. How is it going to have guile?
Well, they said he's very wittiful, or they use a weird word. Not witty. They use something completely different.
You can pause it if you want to go look it up.
No, it's like, we'll just keep going. But it's like they basically imply that he's kind of smart, but it's just that he denies any knowledge of this place, and he sends him to the west in a witty fashion.
Yeah. So you go through. Well, actually, I'll just I'll skip that part right now. Now, tombstone and wet lime. So you saw that big stupid block. It was like there's like a giant block. It looks like a big sugar cube or something, I guess. But it turns out it's made of limestone, and when you touched it, it burned your hand.
Yeah, I found it interesting though, just reading through this, that apparently if I had just put salt, was it salt or was it just water, or salt water on my hands, I could have been able to push it without being burned.
It doesn't really say.
Salt may be used to neutralize the lime effect for 1 to 3 rounds. It's like, it's crazy that I would have been able to just like, okay, I'm going to push this away. But I guess it's adding a base to the...
There's a lot of chemistry going on in the AD&D games.
But that's the first one where we went, where we had Mr. Care pop up and go, not a good idea, let's not push that thing. And I went, okay.
By the way, so I was, basically we only have one player, so I was role-playing the other 2 for him. So basically it's like a BioWare type game where he was Commander Shepard and I was the companions. He controlled them in combat, but I kind of controlled their dialogue, essentially. That's how we decided to do it. But I did not want him using his 2 companions as, like, not meat shields, but what do you call it? Cannon fodder?
Except that I had a thief on a rope for 3/4 of this.
But it wasn't exactly cannon fodder. He did refuse to do anything that was overtly dangerous. I basically decided that they would have refused to do anything that's overtly dangerous, just like sort of playing them semi-realistically.
Yeah,
they're not just gonna like run right.
I'll give you a good tip of
the hat. They're not just gonna tank a hit for you
because eventually it's like Care was just basically up for anything at some point. Like, yeah, I'll do that because it's like I think he was high on something we'll come up to later.
He was high on the smells of that cloth he got eventually.
Which is a lot darker than I thought it was going to
be. So the block. So he avoided the block. They decided not to touch it because his companion said, "You want to push it, you push it."
So in an alternate reality, if I had worked my way around it,
so the next
what would have happened
was what was behind there.
Yeah, what was behind the rock?
Okay, so first there was a little. I think this is an alcove type thing, right? Let me take a look at a little map.
Yeah.
So first there was a first little room. And it was called the Sepulchre of Tlokas Popolokas, which also sounds like an anime.
Tlokas Popolokas, yeah.
And Master of the Outsiders, Popolocroy. Why is he so lonely? Because nobody's playing his game.
Yep.
Master of the Outsiders.
Well, I guess I shunned him even more.
Yep. Which is a good thing. It was actually meant to keep you out. There was glyphs in ancient Alman in there, which Rial spoke, that said, "Here lies," whatever the guy's name.
Yeah, you don't need to read that. It's just to give you this idea. It's like
Master of the Others, who was like the wind and the night. So basically there was a trap in there.
It was a trap, and then a mid-boss encounter right away.
I think that was the actual big boss. I think the whole purpose of this tomb was to contain that vampire. I think that's his tomb. Like this is his tomb.
So I would have fought the boss the moment I walked in.
Yeah,
if I had
AD&D is ruthless. They'll let you fight the main boss right there.
Yeah. I was about to fight the main boss.
So then there was some urns in there. I don't know what was it. It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about what the gold was like any of the treasure, but the idea that it's like. So our audience here, what did we say? Navi.
Our one guy.
Hey, listen.
One lady listens to this.
I literally avoided fighting the main boss, the big bad for the entire thing.
Because if you go to the dialogue from that crab or who the hell it was, he actually straight up told you his master was Kamaxos and Zotzilaa.
Yeah, that's not
part 3.
That's not the outsider.
Well, no, I think that's the vampire's name.
Oh, okay.
The bat is Zotzilaa, but I think the vampire's name was the other one, Kalaxos.
Okay. That's so weird.
Yeah, it says a servant.
So I dodged a bullet there by choosing not to push the block and go explore.
It says, "Odd defiles, you shall join me in my eternal resting. And it was the resting place of the servant of the shadow living slots."
Yeah, it's like I've noticed. I'm going to notice a trend of me seeing something, going, you know what? I don't want to deal with it, and turning around and walking away and missing out on some really cool moments.
So again, I'm just going to fast forward a bit through that. So anyway, there was that room. Then you go into the next room.
So now back to what we actually played.
Oh no, I'm still on the same one.
Oh, we're still
going
on the
into no, because we're going to, that was the first little room with the urns. Then you go into the next room, which is the tomb of the vampire.
Okay.
And in there, there was a bunch of crap in there. The vampire was in there. There was an axe in there, a battle axe on the wall, which was magical. Okay, it could not be pulled out until the vampire was killed. Then there was a vampire in a little tomb thing with like a mask on and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his body. So anyway, I guess if you fucked with him, he would wake up.
And as we know, I see a dead body lying somewhere. I go, hey, let's rob his corpse.
Yeah,
in all respectfully as possible. Oh, great ancestor! Well, thank you for this bounty you are giving me.
And he could only be hit by +1 weapons or better. So since you did not have any,
you were dead. We would have been dead.
You would have been killed by the vampire right there. He also has a strange ability. He was a blood drinker.
Well, yeah, he's a vampire.
But he is not a regular vampire. He is like a Mayan or whatever culture they were imitating here.
Mayan
type vampire.
Aztec.
And he was going to have to drain your blood out and put it into a little cup and then drink it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
I'm glad I avoided that encounter, to say the least. Though I assumed that there would have been some. Well, not that early on. I didn't have a role yet. I didn't have the idea that the old great ancestors and the realization that Rial was very charismatic for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I would have had a negative too, because that is magical. That is would have freaked them the hell out.
Where the hell is it? There was supposed to be a little thing here. I can't see it right now, but I think he was supposed to be able to be killed by water too.
Yeah, I had read that and I didn't quite get it.
Okay, yeah. But the mask and pendant are removed.
No, he may not cross running water.
If Zots are removed, he will start to awaken.
But he would have given us.
What page is that? 7?
Yeah, on 7. But he would have given me the pass I needed to get out instead of the way I brute forced it at the end of the day, at the end of the campaign.
Yeah, actually, it says a lot of stuff. He would have dissipated and then just came back together. So you basically would have been screwed if you fought him.
Yeah, we would have been done in episode 2 because that's when the block would have popped up. Would have been episode 2.
Yep. I'm not seeing the stuff about the water.
It's page 7 above the scattered around like the little block of text that goes. He may not cross running water. Well, he's a vampire, so it's obvious he's not going to cross running water.
Yeah.
So since I wasn't so used to the game yet,
so
I wouldn't have.
That was it.
So I wouldn't have thought of spitting on the ground and then telling Mira to use her powers to make a water, so he could not get.
Yeah,
to
that
us.
would have it. Yeah, so you wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Unless she knew that, because she does know undead a bit. So then, because this is kind of, these books are so disjointed, you kind of have to jump around. So if you basically what happened was you went to the end.
We turned around.
You went to the end of that hallway, and there was just nothing but a rubble-filled staircase there. That's just meant to be a dead end, I guess. I don't know why the crab directs you there. It only wastes like a minute of your time anyway.
Well, no, it's because they think that you're... Well, a whole party, more than likely, you're like, huh, it burns. There's this mysterious block here. Let's try to figure out how to get past it. Whereas my reaction is, nope, let's go back. Go see the crab. I want to go talk to him again.
I thought the crab was directing you to the rubble-filled staircase, but whatever.
Apparently he was directing me to this little trap here.
I believe he was directing you to the rubble-filled staircase, but it had just filled in. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whatever happened, that ends up not being the way out.
No, I want a ruling on this, DM. Okay. I want a ruling. Why did he direct me into that rubble-filled hallway?
Because it says...
so.
Hold on a second. Let me see here. Let's take a wait. It is highly intelligent. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, he was highly
intelligent. In
order
to serve its master, Kamalazat, or Zothalaha, the vampire god of the underworld, to whom this shrine was originally dedicated. So that's who you were going to. Speaks Olman. Denies any knowledge of the place, stating it was brought to his warrens when it was very young. If asked for directions, it will send the party to the rubble-filled staircase to the east.
Yeah.
Then if asked again, it will send the party to the west. So it does send you to the rubble-filled staircase.
Okay,
so maybe it just collapsed in the last few thousand years.
It's like, yeah, no, that was the way out. That's why the big glowing exit sign fell off.
There was the mud-filled doorway was also in that room. You could have actually
I could have dug through that. I didn't think about that.
No, you couldn't dig through it. You had to use a large quantity of water.
Spit on it and then have her use create water because she can do that.
Why would you have to spit on it first?
There has to be a small quantity of water.
Okay.
for her to create something out of it.
Oh, I see.
So in my logic...
But there was already water there.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, it says...
I'd have to reread that again, but yeah.
That's
how my brain thinks. It's like, okay, we need to create water.
The bottom of the story was filled with silt, which blocks the door.
I
guess that was already...
So in a what-if situation, what would have happened if we had created the door?
It is semi-liquid. If water is forced in quantity through the silt, it will wash the silt under the door jamb and down the hall beyond, alleviating the blockage. So if you'd use water on that door, it would just open up.
And then it wouldn't have been the
background. Into the Nereid room. Directly into the Nereid room. But it didn't really matter because there's not really that many encounters on the other side of it, thankfully. Well, actually, because you found the secret door. So the next one you went to... The next room you went to...
Yeah, so we circle back. I talk to the crab, and he goes, "Oh, go that way."
He sends you the other way, yeah. He sends you the other way, and then you went to the room Courses of the Gods, and that was the room with a bunch of, like, I think, broken statues and stuff.
This is where
And then there was some slime on the wall.
That I thought was the snail god?
Which you tried to talk to.
I thought was the snail god.
And it just says...
But there would have been repercussions if we had done anything to that slime.
It just says... The mass over the doorway is a large colony of algae that closely resembles green slime. Fire will have little effect on it.
Oh, great.
Because the algae is oozing wet and fire does not burn with much effect in the presence of the poisonous gas filling this level, which I had gotten rid of anyway.
Yeah, but the thing I noticed...
Attempting to dislodge the pseudo-green slime resulting in it dropping slippery sections on the players.
Did you like the fact that I never even thought about trying to dislodge the slime? I was just like, okay, it's not the slime god. It's not the snail god. Let's move.
The walls in this room are heavily coated with lime and will cause 1 point of damage for each round the skin touches them. But I don't think the slime itself caused any damage, so you would have been fine.
No, not damage. It just made it gave me a penalty.
It doesn't say that. On 8, Course of the Gods, it doesn't say shit.
No, I could have sworn it said it gave me a penalty.
No, this is the resulting dropping slippery sections on the players if you try to dislodge it. But that's it.
Okay.
Stone statue. You did actually climb up on this. Care climbed up on the statue. He did knock the statue over.
Yeah, well, we stood away on the other side of the hallway. Yeah.
And he did unveil the secret passage, which you went through.
Yeah.
By going through the secret passage, you avoided...
This is what we avoided by going through the secret passage.
It was this one, right? Wait. What the hell is he talking about here? Court of Sumanawak.
Yeah, Sumanawak.
Place entirely surrounded by water.
Yeah, so it's like... We avoided me drowning, basically, because this, once again, dumb luck led me away from something in which I would have immediately died, so we would have been done in episode 3.
There was drowning rules, yeah, there was alcohols here. It's kind of hard to...
So, by me lucking into a secret passage, I avoided dying in episode 3.
It wasn't lucking. Anybody who fucked with the statue would have seen it. Where the hell was the snail? Was that the snail room? Yeah, that was it.
That was the snail room.
No, that was the snail room. There was drowning rules in there.
But we also missed out on me going, "Oh, mighty ancestor, oh, great ancestor, snail god of old."
Yeah, you did miss that, but I think he would have attacked you anyway. It says the water covering the floor is 2 feet deep in most places, but in the side aisles, in northernmost 10-foot section, it is 12 feet deep on 3 sides. Yeah, and then he would have fallen into the water, and he would have had to do drowning rules, which wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah, because it has the Lord of Snails.
The phosphorescent glow on the eastern wall is actually
Tacuzestical.
Testicatl, yes.
Cattle.
Lord of the Snails. A giant slug that can...
Has testicle.
Yep. A giant slug that can cling to the walls or ceiling. So you would have had to fight him.
So I avoided, once again, through dumb luck, avoided another boss.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what does that say he had? He spits a slimy and irritating acid up to 60 feet.
But it doesn't look like I would have... It doesn't look like I would have gotten that much of a great reward for taking him down.
Nope. Yeah,
also,
he could spit acid at you, crushed you.
Also, just to let you know, it's like even without reading this, the first thing I would have done when confronting the snail would have been rub salt all over my weapons.
Telzaso title is highly intelligent, quite the boaster. In ancient lore, it was considered to be related to the moon, a fact of which it is quite proud. And then it would have told you an omen what it has store for you, blah blah blah. So I guess I don't know if it would have let you get by without fighting it. Oh no, wait. Those fungus slug without precautions will plunge into the moat. So it would have led you into the moat to try to mess with you. So basically, if you tried to negotiate with it, it would have just tried to have you drowned anyway.
Yeah, it would make the water appear like solid ground when you tried to drown me.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, so then yada yada yada, alcoves.
Yeah, it would have brought me straight.
Tomb of Hamurakan. So yeah, that was Urakan, god of the flood. So that was the one where you open the door and then a huge quantity of water just flows through and basically you have to save against drowning. Yeah. You would have had to save against drowning.
But then that would have led me to another boss.
No, that wasn't a boss.
No, we would have led me after that to Child of Zotz-Etaha.
Where is that?
That god of the underworld. That's how that links all the way around to there. So I avoided another.
Where does it say that?
Because it goes to the Tomb of Hurakan, and then it goes.
No, that's the Child of Zothizala. That's the Nereid room.
Oh, is it Nereid room?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so she's the
child
of the Bat God.
I guess so.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, you went into the Nereid room. See, because if you look on your map here, on the walkthrough map I gave you, you can actually see it much better. See, this is see right here. Look at my screen. See, this is the secret passage. There was the statue. Oh, look at my screen because I'm showing you.
No, I have the Nereid room.
No, on the cartoon map.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. See where the secret passage comes out, and I couldn't quite figure out what was going on here.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the hell?
Oh, I'll explain to you what happened.
No, right here. See. So it turns out if you had gone straight and gone through that door, then that would have been the flood room. See? So, but I guess I think what happened, right? You opened the door or something. Or no, you looked in the door and you were like, there was all water coming out, and you were like, better not go in there. So then you went down towards the Nereid room instead.
That's exactly what I did.
So yeah, you came into the Nereid room. Child of Zotzit-Hala,
and
of the underworld.
Because of my paranoia of like we're just peeking into the room. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that the module actually has that. It's like if you just burst in the room, she runs away, doesn't leave her skin behind. But if you watch her and you're just peeking through, which we retcon to Mira be peeking through because the guys would have been instantly fallen in love apparently.
I don't remember that, but whatever.
We grabbed her shawl because it was on the ground.
Yeah, so basically she's got a shtick here where she doesn't really attack very well, but she can charm all males, and I think basically they can attack her and stuff. But she left behind that little shawl. The shawl contained her soul. And
this is the beginning of a really weird run throughout the remainder of the campaign.
A really weird joke we made, yeah.
This is where Care actually finally started developing a character.
And that character was a pervert. He likes to sniff women's soiled clothing.
Yeah, and then which slowly led to him becoming like a dog.
Somehow he became very canine by the end of it.
And he's an elf.
Yeah,
half elf,
yeah. He's a half-breed.
Oh boy, he would be very, very angry, I think, though, because it's like elves being treated like a dog. Eek.
We all know the history of race relations in Dungeons and Dragons between humans and elves.
Yeah,
not very great. They call them elfers and stuff. Anyways, so yeah, the game does give you a little out though. They give you the cloth, and if you pick it up, then you can control her. Well, they don't really know that. You just know that.
Yeah, I did not know. It
doesn't tell you that, but
I didn't know that was her.
It tells you that you can't. She can't attack you as long as you're holding it, but she will try to bargain to you to give it back to her, which you did not.
No, I didn't give it back to her, but it's like, I'm like, oh, we're just going to go this way for a second. I'll give it to you when I go through the door. Then I close the door and said, here, Care, enjoy, and we walked away.
So, if you had fought her, she would have used the water and stuff. Actually, she did use the water a bit to attack you before you grabbed the cloth, but if you had fought her, you would have found out that she's actually a giant electric eel in that pool, too, that you would have had to fight.
Yeah, her pet.
And it could electrocute you. I don't think it's that dangerous, though. It was fairly dangerous.
But I also missed out on some treasure.
And only if you dived into the water, you could have found more treasure down there. And if you destroyed that cloth, you would have killed her instantly.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have Care with it wrapped around his face for the entirety of the adventure.
He's a panty sniffer. So you basically avoided that. The next area was very complicated because I didn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, because you didn't. When I read it, I went, okay, I can see where some of his confusion comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But reading it, I'm like, okay, this makes a little bit more sense than it was, especially if I had seen the map here. I'd been like, okay, I understand that now. I understand exactly what happened.
But if you're just reading the module, then it's very complicated.
Yeah, it's...
So basically, we get to another... I'll read the name of it.
So basically what happens, I walk down a hallway and with a Looney Tunes gag on it, I walk through a thing and then you realize that it's not a hallway behind it, it's just a painting on a wall of a longer hallway.
Okay, so go through the flooded hall and then you get into the Great Hall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where it's literally a Looney Tunes gag. It was a Roadrunners cartoon.
You hit into the wall, a fake wall, and you bash into your face into it. And then the door closes behind you and locks you in to starve to death.
Do you remember why? Because I went, let's go look in these alcoves over here, and then we stepped on a pressure plate. Or Real stepped on a pressure plate.
I think it was Care, but whatever.
I think it might have been me, but okay.
Because the thieves have no ability to detect stuff in this game, he just kind of has to blunder through it.
I think after this, you stopped. I think you stopped like saying, you know what? There's a basic detect trap thing. He knows when there's a trap.
Yeah, because the game doesn't give you a lot of info back in AD&D days. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that maybe the thief could kind of detect that there was something up.
But yet, they seem to have the best modules compared to the other volumes.
The earliest games have the best and most memorable modules that everybody still references to this day, but their rules just fucking suck.
It's that, or we're not understanding the rules.
Yeah. So then you have to go through the secret door.
So yeah, there's a secret door that we found because that's when I realized I had this magic wand that I have to actually go back and see how much I have left of it still.
And then I couldn't quite figure out, if you recall, what the hell's going on at the secret door thing. Because it looked like it has you do it, but then you have to do it again almost on 16, on page 10.
Yeah.
Secret door, and there was a stupid little trap where you had to do something with like a compass or something, but it doesn't really show it on the map very well.
Yeah, it doesn't explain it. I was reading that, and I read through it like 3 times before I went, okay.
I just said, let's skip that room, fuck it. I'm assuming that was a misprint. Then you go through the Halls of Great Spirits, which is a bunch of animal heads.
Which I didn't really listen to up to there, but I believe I walked in and started going, oh, great ancestors, but...
There was a bunch of animal heads. One of them is an eagle. It's got
which led to
a bracelet in its mouth.
Me acquiring one of my great treasures.
One of the OP items of this game that lets you turn 3 things to stone.
Which I used to great effect.
Yeah, you did.
In a kind of funny way, in a couple of one instance.
Oh yeah. Well, you wasted one on the monk pointlessly.
Because I went to reach it and I got scared. I'm like, ah! And I touched him.
But you did take 2 things out of the game. What did you take out of the game with that? After that.
We'll go room by room. I'll tell you because I can't remember who. I know one of them was the snake.
One of them was a snake, yeah, and one of them was the
I had the jaguar.
I
did gibbering mouth there. I thought I turned the thing's heart to stone.
No, I fucked it up. I fucked up because you're supposed to be able to destroy it. We'll get to that in a
second.
Oh yeah,
okay,
I fucked up the rules, so I retconned it. So yeah, so you got this a nice thing. Again, the game doesn't really explain to you how to explain this as a player, so I just had one of the mages tell him that it can turn things to stone.
I think it can turn things to stone.
It was like a giant. It was actually a stone giant's ring, but it's like small.
Or
enough,
earring, yeah.
But it's small enough for you to be a bracelet for a human. Hallway of the Ancestors. That's where you fought all.
So that's gonna be great because that means now that I still have this bracelet, but now I can shape stone.
Yep.
Is what happens.
Hallway of the Ancestors was the end of that hallway, and basically, if you'd gone straight, and there's basically just a bunch of zombies in there. That was our first combat of the game, and it was so boring.
That was like episode 4 or 5.
I think it was 3, but whatever.
Was it 3?
I don't know. It was such a boring fight because they're just these stupid zombies. They have no real abilities.
No, it was the beginning of episode 4 because we went, and there's our first fighting encounter.
They just
and then
shuffle towards you, and you just have to fight them in this narrow hall. It was a badly designed encounter. At the end of that one...
But if it was a kind of a good inaugural one because they weren't a very hard...
Yeah.
Compared to everything I missed, they weren't a very hard combat encounter.
This thing splits... So basically, this stupid...
So do you remember what I did here?
The stupid hallway splits around. Yeah, you went into the room with the monks, and then you decided to turn right around and go back.
Yeah, to explore everything else.
So I'm not gonna... I'll get to the monk room in a minute.
Yes.
Silver coffer. Okay, so you went down the other hallway to the left. Then you found this little alcove there that had like a trap in it.
And this was the introduction of Bandit on a String.
That was when he first put Claire into his rope. And then you went to the end and he got a treasure chest. It was a very confusing thing too. There was like 2 treasure chests in there or something. I don't know. But anyway, he got a treasure chest. And then some other little like statue came out and started floating around. And then you followed it around for a bit. And then you basically realized
I like that in the module they're like, yeah, this is a false lead. It's just going to keep walking as long as there's nothing to distract. I'm like, oh, okay.
It just floated around endlessly and was supposed to like waste your time.
And oh boy, did it waste my time.
I think I only wasted 5 minutes. Then you went to... what was that?
Well, we followed the
coffer.
Yeah.
Spirit guard of Tamoachan.
Yeah, we followed
So basically, in there. So no, you followed around and you said, "Fuck it, you're going back to the end of that hallway, past that little treasure chest." In there was a whole bunch of statues.
So I'm gonna tell you what I thought was gonna happen in here.
Okay.
When we walked in, you described to me that there was a bunch of warrior statues all over, like sort of almost like raised, leading up to like a tent, like a dais. And what I was worried is that we were gonna step into the room.
Yep.
And they were immediately all gonna go
come to life.
Yeah, terracotta warrior style. Step forward, have their weapons out, and we were gonna be fighting statues.
Again, those wacky designers decided to bluff you with that because they do not come to life. They are actually just statues.
Yeah, I had actually seriously considered just going in there and smashing everything as we went through.
Which actually would not have been a great idea. Well, smashing the statues would have been nothing.
No, the statues, yeah.
But had you smashed that stupid that little dome thing at the end,
yeah,
it was actually a tomb.
That would have been another boss character for me to fight.
Which would have been a very difficult tomb. Because you see, so basically it was like, what was it made of? Does it say what it was made of? Stucco.
Yeah, it was very, very
it's
light stuff for me to break.
It's weak construction. It can be broken in 4 rounds. Inside there were some bones, yada yada yada. So, I'll say in the center, what the hell was it? Yada yada. Oh, so if you lift up something, there was a hidden door in the floor, and then you would release whatever the guy's name was, Tamoachan, who was a white, who can energy drain you to, much like the vampire could, not the vampire, but basically instead of sucking
so
your blood,
once again,
he would just
my
drain
apathy
your levels.
Completely.
You kept saying, "I'm gonna go back and smash that thing." I'm like,
no, I was getting angry at you. I'm like, "I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go smash that thing."
And you would have had a white who can drain your levels.
So once again, I would have been dead.
1 to 4 damage plus energy drain of 1 level every time he touches you. This game is so OP and merciless that they would have undead enemies who can touch you and reduce your whole fucking level.
So either I am great at this game, or I just didn't care. Like, nope.
And magical or silvered weapons are needed to even hit him.
Yeah.
So basically, you would have found another invincible enemy who would have just completely murdered your team.
That axe, if I had killed the vampire, would have been damaged.
But you needed magical weapons to kill the vampire too, anyway.
+1, yeah.
Yep, which you didn't have. So you would have been screwed anyway, no matter what. If you touched anything in here, you would have been screwed. And he had an amulet of protection from turning, which prevents clerics from turning evil undead from him.
I think some of these things are like meant to be like
killers.
Killers, or like
come back later.
Like once you've gotten through, it's like, do you want to open up? Like saw something in here that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like go a little bit of ahead. That once we had made it out, there was a well, and if we had gotten something earlier on, we could have opened that well and had easy access in and out of the tomb. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think some of these things were also meant for us. Like, hey, now that you're geared up and you got, how about you go explore this dungeon more and see what you could have found?
So you went out. So there was a little hidden door out of that room. You made your way out of there. You opened it up. You went through that hallway and you found a big block.
Yeah, which is going to lead to a thing that made you cackle to no end.
The stupid block. Basically, the block was if you pushed it up, it goes up these little wooden rollers. Let me get
I
that page.
honestly really
Stone block it's just called. If you had pushed it all the way to the top, though, it would have completely blocked the hallway, and you wouldn't have been able to get through anyway.
Yeah.
So it would have been really. Is this another waste? Isn't this another time waster for you?
Yeah, it's like you can almost avoid it. It's like ugh.
So you went to the right again, and you circled back around. You ended back up in the room.
I remember this because it kind of made me angry. We get into it, and we're back to the monk room, and then you started cackling.
So that room was called the Chamber of Nosawal, the Achieved Ones. That was 2 monks. It was C. Pactonal and Oxomoko. 2, I guess they were human monks. They're in suspended animation.
But according to the text, they were still aware of everything that was going on around them.
They've used the potion to increase their ability to feign death. But yeah, they were aware of their environment and what goes on around them, though. And it says if they were disturbed, they will instantly awaken. So this is what happened to them. You fucked with them. They woke in, stood, then...
I'll tell the story. I walked in and I went, "Oh, great ancestors, yada, yada, yada. We thank you for these things you've given us. Please don't wake up." And then I went to grab the amulet around the neck of the male priest.
Yep.
And he woke up and went, "Oh!" And I went, "Ah!" And touched him and turned him to stone.
Instantly turned him to stone before he could say anything. What he would have said was, "You have broken our long glorious sleep, for For this, you must pay.
And then they would have extorted me for money.
Yeah, and then
what would they have done with money?
They would demand a payment of 500 GP or one magic item of value as forfeiture if you asked them not to attack you. If otherwise, they would have attacked.
But I completely have their fighting power by me shrieking like a little girl and just touching like ah!
You froze him as a statue. And it said anyway. If they question about the ruins, they have nothing to tell, except that they're waiting for some rain of fire.
You're forgetting. But then we fight the female.
No. I'm just telling you that what the rest of the flavor text said.
Yeah.
They knew nothing about because what happened was you killed the female, then you decided to tie up the male.
We killed the female, dismembered her corpse.
Oh yeah, you chopped her up pretty bad.
Put her into her body into the hallway with nothing but her head.
Yeah.
Tied up a statue.
Then had Care or somebody de-stone him.
De-petrify.
Stone to flesh him. And then you tightened, I guess, the ropes up. And then you showed him the head. And
he was like, ah!
But as it said, when you attempted to interrogate him, he knew nothing about the ruins.
And then...
Save that he was waiting for a rain of fire. And his sleep has been long.
And then we killed him.
Then you killed him too.
Dismembered him.
Then you chopped him up as well.
Shoved him into the hallway and took a nap. That was roughly the point where my character went from being on the good scale to being like neutral.
Neutral, yeah. But they did try to
and Care, same thing. Going down was like, I think I'm neutral now.
They did kind of attack you. You didn't have to do that grotesque shit, but they did. They did.
But it came in handy, like all those body parts.
So then you went to... I'll skip over this a little bit. You went to the room with the beetles, the nest of the warriors. There was 13 fire beetles in there. Basically, their shtick was, I think they're blind, but they can hear. They get attracted to any noise.
And they try to bite it. And they emit light.
They emit light.
So instead of shooting rocks, I shot body parts in there.
No. First thing you did was you went around. You got caught in the trap.
Oh yeah.
You went through that other right door. You got caught in the sand trap. You did the sandbox. You did manage to break through the wooden pillar things before you got
broke through it.
Before being drowned in sand. Then you got attacked by the the will-o-wisps. I mean, which basically was like so difficult to hit. It probably would have killed you.
Yeah.
And then you went through You had to go like push this triangular block aside, the triangular pillar, and you had to jump over the little pit that you had encountered earlier.
Which apparently we could have jumped over earlier and gotten through. Like it's like
you could have, but then you would have had to push the block aside, encounter the will-o-wisp, get caught in the trap. Maybe the will-o-wisp would have murdered you in the trap. I don't know. Either way, you went all the way around, came all the way back around, found that you were back at the room of the monks. Then you threw the bodies in there to distract the stupid beetles. So then you go up the stairs.
And this is going to be classic.
Here's
Bobby.
where some stupid shit happened.
So classic Bobby.
So I'm dumb, and I didn't know how the saving throws worked, and I somehow flipped them in my mind that you had to get under instead of over or something like that. So when you went to the ramp, not the ramp, where the hell is it? The stairs? Yeah. So when you go to the stairs, it says, again, a pressure plate, which you have no way of avoiding. Release the millstone. It came rolling down at you. Actually, it says it works automatically. Otherwise, the trap is triggered 3 times out of 8. So I rolled a d8, and you did actually fail it. Yeah, unfortunately.
We failed it.
Then you had to... Everybody made a saving throw. So I fucked it up. It's supposed to be Myra failed.
Bobby.
Myra was supposed to fail, and the other 2 were supposed to survive.
So the 2 people carrying all the good stuff, weapons, grappling hooks, treasure...
Because the weird thing is, a 1 to 4 would have only given you 1 to 8 points of damage.
Yeah.
A 5, which both of you guys got, had your backpacks and contents smashed and destroyed. And the 6 would have been packs and contents torn away, but recoverable.
Yeah.
You got the unfortunate 2 5s.
Yeah.
Even though Myra was supposed to only get the 5.
Yeah. And knowing her luck, if it had been properly, she would have gotten, like, the 6. Mm-hmm. Or just, like, I got hurt. Oh, well. I'll just heal myself. I'll just touch myself.
You got the worst outcome from this.
Yeah, because somebody messed up.
I told him to read the rules and correct me as necessary. Neither of us knew how the rules worked, and I even offered to retcon it, and you said no.
No, because that was like 2 episodes later, and it's like I've been on the assumption that I had no backpacks, so we've been leaving stuff behind.
So you went to the next. So that was like that brings you out of the first level.
But this was a great chase because we were running.
Yeah, so then more beetles come out because you avoided the beetles. So now the beetles come out of that room and start chasing you up the thing.
This is like Gandalf and the hobbits being chased by the goblins, like, going on here.
By beetles, which only actually have hit dice of 1.
Yeah,
and 7 hit points each.
But this really cool thing is us running up the stairs after losing our backpacks, going into this next chamber, which you can describe more and thing, running through it, having Dope on a rope, sliding him underneath a monster to grab some treasure as we're running through.
Yeah. So you go into the next room called the Ark of Nanatwatsen, the pimply one. This, if you recall correctly, looked like a beholder.
Yeah, that was the first thing I yelled. It's like, beholder! And it's like I said, just.
I think one of them, maybe it was Care, described it for you.
And I went beholder, yeah.
Shit. So it turns out it was actually not a real beholder. It was actually a gas spore that looks like a beholder. If you had,
so
if it hit you, you
could
have got a rhizome infestation upon contact with it. You would have died unless you got a cure disease spell within 24 hours.
This is crazy. This is insane.
If it took even 1 point of damage, it would explode, causing 6 to 36 points of damage to everyone in a 20-foot radius. Save for half damage.
So it's like, here's another point.
And if you've been infested by the gas spore, you've been incapable of defending yourself and could only move with the aid of other characters. So yeah, you did grab the sack meat of Care grabbed the sack meat of fish skin on his way out.
Yeah, because I had him on the rope and he slid him underneath him and dragged him underneath it.
Yeah, it was quite daring. So what were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, that's it. Like, it was cool. It's just like so we're running away from the beetles. And it's like slide underneath. Okay.
So you get to the next area. You go around and you see that it's actually the stupid like other side of the block pushing up area. So you said fuck that. You go back around. You go down the hallway. Then you get to the. Was this it? Yeah, the Tomb of Palota.
Once again. This is where my apathy saved us from a very annoying game.
Boring game. Yeah, that was supposed to be the glyphs, which says, dare not open this pit unless you be willing to meet the challenge of the game. I looked over this game. It was some sort of like a soccer type game.
It was soccer.
But you have to hit a ball with, I think, your weapons instead. So it was almost like soccer baseball.
It said when I was reading it, it's like they compared it to, it's like you're hitting it with either your weapon or your foot.
If you ever seen that stupid
also you just kind of determined which region we're from because we refer to it as soccer baseball and not kickball.
But basically you had to hit it into a little like goal. A very small little hole
while we avoided letting the ball get into
and I was looking at it and I'm like fuck, I don't want to play that stupid thing,
and neither did I, so we just continued on our way.
Yeah, if you had won you would have only got like not very much, only maybe a few dozen gold. So it wasn't really worth it.
So we go
maybe
through,
about 100, 200
and we go to another moment.
So you walked right past that shit. So the next room you went into. Okay, this was the room with the cats, the guardian beast, and in there was again a stuffed tiger, a statue of a cat man, a bunch of little stuffed cats, a big cat face on the wall.
Imagine, if you will, your great-great-grandmother's living room. Mm-hmm. Little China cats very everywhere, living cats, like taxidermied cats, and then this big hulking man jaguar. Were-jaguar, just standing there holding his spear and nothing else.
So this is a guy with a permanent statue spell cast on him. He appears to be made of stone, but again, you could see, feel, and hear all that takes place around him.
So, from reading this, if we had, let's give an idea of what happened first.
Yeah. So I fucked up the rules pretty badly. Randy read through my description a few times, figured out that he had to go to the tiger, figured out that he could open up the tiger, found a heart inside.
Yeah, because they was describing that there was a matching scar across her chest, and I went, can I look inside the tiger? And you're like, there's a beating heart in there. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I'm turning... and I go, I'm going to turn this to stone.
No, the first thing he said was you're going to stab it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to stab it.
Here's where I fucked up and got the AC rules wrong and determined that he somehow missed. It was actually supposed to be really easy to hit, but somehow I was doing the wrong row or something, and I got the impression that he missed it.
Because, we're supposed to be smart if we had done this.
So you did do that, and I accidentally fucked up, and the thing came to life, and then he tried to do something else. But then I was just like, oh, look, I read the wrong thing. Okay, you actually did stab it, and then the jaguar statue, the jaguar man crumbles to dust. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, as he likes to say. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, it's not okay. It's okay.
Hanyo.
So.
Hanyo, okay.
So then there's a bunch of different exits to this place.
Yeah. But from reading the rules, my initial plan after you said no, you didn't use all Mist to hurt somehow. I'm like, can I just turn it to stone?
Yeah, then I was
according to what I had read, it wouldn't have worked because he has permanent statue on him.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have helped.
It wouldn't have helped. It would have turned the heart to stone, but not him.
That would have just made it harder to destroy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I retconned that and I said, yeah, you managed to, you just stabbed it and it died.
And looking at our little map here, it's like I think I may have. No, it wouldn't have helped me. I'm just looking at the map wrong. Never mind.
So then there was a couple things. There was a secret door.
There were secret doors galore in here.
Anyway, I forget which one you ended up going through. I don't think you ever touched the calendar stone.
Nope, I never touched the calendar stone. I went straight through. I went down a hallway. We avoided a trap.
First thing you went to this is hallway. Yeah, first thing you went down is the hallway with these guys. Now, was this the Ren? No, I don't think you went through that one, did you?
Yeah, and then we walked into the hallway that had a well and a statue, and we just kind of went, nope, and we turned away and walked down the hallway. We completely ignored another hallway.
Well, hold on, let me read it to you. I'm trying to figure out which one is which. One said the Portal of Death. Now, where the hell did that one go?
The Portal of Death is the silver.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out which one is which. Okay, that was the door you came through, I guess. Okay. Now, what the hell does that door do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, okay. As he says, okay. Okay, so I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but I'll just go through this one. The Portal of Death. And then that was going to be I don't know, I guess there was a trap or some shit in there.
Yeah, which we avoided with our fake...
And then at the end of that, so then it would have been another crossbow thing. You didn't go through this one. It would have said a message written in Ulman, beware beyond this door is death. So then what would have been in there is ancient Tamoachan, the tome of Tamoachan, the home sought after. That would have been a little miniature diorama of Tamoachan or Tamoachan.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't go down that hallway.
You never went down this hallway.
Yeah, because that was through a secret passage.
Yeah, and that would have been another trap. A wall of fire would have hit you, a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, so that's the road not taken.
This is the road not taken. I was going to tell you what would have happened. Within there, we would have another coffin.
I'll tell you what would have happened.
And there would have been a doppelganger in there.
I would have died.
There would have been a doppelganger in there, in the coffin.
So you mean you would have to have popped out and went, "Oh, great ancestors!" It's like
he would have turned into one of you. He would have murdered one of you and turned into you. Actually, I think what it would have said was, it would have assumed the form of one of yous and then slayed yous or something like that. So then I guess I would have had to roleplay that character or something like that.
Like I said, so it's like you would roll your dice.
Well, maybe not you. Maybe it would have got Kyrie.
Yeah, I know you were roleplaying like whatever your role was. Your arbitrator would be like, "Oh, I got Real. Okay, so great ancestors, don't hurt me."
Then it would have tried to kill the other two.
Yeah.
Well, not you. It probably would have got Care maybe or Myra.
God, yeah.
But yeah, then it would have acted like them until it could have killed yous too. It would have been some nasty stuff. There was a bunch of treasure in that room though.
So we avoided that yet again. Avoided another one.
That. Then you've got which one is it? I think this is the way you went. Okay,
yeah, this is where we went.
Here's what happened. Guardians bar the way, so that was a bunch of statues guarding the area. Which I don't know. I think he's managed to smash them or something like that.
I think we just smashed them. I think we just.
I'm like, I think it's not even in the rules. I just decided, yeah, you can smash those. Screw it. I don't care anymore. Then you went into Zepa's audience chamber.
Which is, and what did I do? I walked in.
Lord of the Flayed Skins.
I looked at his nice statue at the other one and went, oh, okay. Turned around, walked down the hallway, looked at a glowing.
You get to past the statues. You went to the next door. You go in there and you look to the left. You see a big statue with like a panther or something in front of it, right?
Yeah.
And then to the right, you see like a little glowing well thing with a mirror on the other side of it.
Yeah, I ignored the mirror. I ignored I said nope, and didn't realize that there was apparently an opening above it.
Yep. So yeah, what would have happened was the panther on the left. What the hell was it? Yada yada yada. The panther. Oh, I don't know. He said it has a mental block towards humans. Yada yada yada. Cannot see you. It just paces back and forth. Yada yada. The well holds liquid. The well would have been pretty fucked up though. The statue was nothing. The well holds liquid light. So basically, it would have stuck to you like oil and basically covered you in light and possibly killed you.
Yep. Drowning.
Suffocated you to death. I'm not sure how you got that out of. I think the darkness spell negates it. I'm not sure if you've had it.
No, we didn't.
The mirror spell. The mirror did nothing special. Okay, so then.
But the thing I missed is because I didn't realize it, because I didn't notice it, because I never look up.
Yeah.
Was that there was a hole above us?
There was a lot of people never look up. So above that well was a hole, and up there lived a ogre mage,
which I avoided. So this is boss number 5.
Zippe. What the hell was his name?
Zippy,
but he had a name. Zeppa, the Lord of Flayed Skins, was an ogre mage all covered in human skins who looks disgusting.
Oh, you mean his Ziggy?
And he
you remember
would have
Ziggy? He only wears a shirt, no pants.
Ogre mage. Yeah, he had some spells and stuff. He's pretty nasty.
We would have died.
He probably would have killed you, but he also had a few pieces of treasure in there. So then, the other area you didn't go to. So yeah, I'll get to that in a second. You went to. Okay, again, you didn't go to that one. Okay, I'll tell this one. Here's another direction you didn't go. This was the bed of Zelon.
Yeah.
So this was a tree that looked like a tree. You would have went past this thing that looked like a big white tree if you'd gone through this other door. What it actually was a semi-sentient, gigantic variety of polyps similar to a sea anemone, once worshipped as Zelunon, the hairy mother goddess of corn. So they would have tried to eat you, paralyze you, throw you into its little mouth. It's like a Venus flytrap type thing.
Yeah. I gladly avoided that.
So you did not go through that area.
Nope.
You went through the barred pit.
Oh, some of us went through the barred pit.
Again, in a moment of DM overrule calling, I decided that Randy can do whatever he wants with Rial, but Kara and Myra are going to make informed choices based on their abilities, things like that. So Kara's pretty nimble, Rial's pretty nimble. Those two guys could jump over these. It almost looks like a ladder on the ground, but it was like these little bars, like they're going over a pit.
And we never stopped.
It's almost like monkey bars kind of thing. So you have to jump across. I think a couple of them will break. They'll send you into a little pit that's got these stupid thorns and shit in the bottom. Yada, yada, yada.
But we made it through, and this is where we said, you know what, Mira, that's it. Okay, we're done. We're not a party anymore.
Oh, wait.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, there was plants in there that could have digested you
and
stuff.
It's not you, it's me. And then we just went our separate way.
Myra, so those two numbskulls jumped over that thing. Myra shrugged and said, I ain't jumping over that because she does not have good dexterity. And she probably would have fell anyway.
I should have just tied her to my back and I would just take the penalty and got us through.
Into the pit with the carnivorous thorn slingers at the bottom, which could have eaten her and stuff. Digestive juices they had. So anyway, so she didn't go. She refused to go through there. I sent her back to the cat room.
So
I rolled a die. Well, I'm gonna tell them what happened to her.
Yeah, exactly.
I rolled a die.
So this is the side story here. Mm-hmm. The Myra Gaiden of Tamoachan. Tamoachan Gaiden.
The Myra Gaiden, which is very, very short, because all she did was go through the Department of the Dust of Ages.
The Department of Dust.
Apartment of Dust of Ages, which was pretty much just some phantoms that come out and threaten you with swords, but they can actually cause no harm. Basically, and then took up some various other forms. So she just went through there. She looked at them, and when she realized they weren't going to hurt her, she just walked past them.
Yeah, but she didn't loot anything while she was in there.
There was nothing in there, just pottery fragments and shit like that. So she walked through. So all the party met up in the next final room of this one.
So now to backtrack a little bit more, we walk in there.
The Chamber of the Second Sun.
Me and Rial and Kara walk in and go get immediately into combat with a bunch of monkeys.
Nope. The first thing that happened was you saw the light thing overhead, the hole in the wall overhead.
Oh yeah, and I got obsessed saying, "Can we get out through there?"
And then you tried to walk through and go through another door.
Yeah, we walked down the
which
hallway.
Would have led you to the room with the living tree.
But we saw the goblins.
And as you you did see the monkeys overhead, but they were just
we ran.
They were just shrieking at you.
They were shooting stuff at us.
Throwing stuff at you. Yeah. Then as you were walking, in the middle of the room was a small amphisbaena, which is a two-headed snake.
And we ran. We just ran.
No, but you didn't know. It came up behind you and bit you first.
Yeah, I know, and we ran because it's like we have to go back and find her now because I need to be healed.
But you had to fight. You had to fight it. But the first thing you did was
we ran down a hallway.
No, you didn't.
No, we ran down the hallway because then you heard her going, "Hey guys," and we went shit, and we turned around and we ran back.
That's not what happened.
And you cast the fireball.
No, you touched a snake with your
ring,
and you turned it to stone.
Oh yeah, okay.
You saved against poison that would have killed you.
Yeah.
You touched it with the You touch again another vicious one. That poison.
For some reason,
poison kills you instantly.
For some reason, I thought I had touched it while she had seen us doing it.
No,
but then now I just remember I'm like, no wait, because you did the whole.
He touched it immediately and it turned to stone instead of fighting it. All right, there you go. Then the monkeys jumped down and started attacking you. So then you tried to run the other way.
Yeah.
Which would have led you to the living tree. Then Myra comes out and is like, "What the hell's going on in here?"
And then when we ran in, we set off one of the biggest traps that I didn't know about in this whole thing is that reading through this thing every time he casts Fireball.
It collapses.
It collapses the roof on us.
So he managed to kill all the baboons, and there was another big cave in that room, and which completely killed them.
And this is why I was misremembering, because then it's like, yeah, well, she's like, yeah, no, I just walked through. There was nothing. It would have been easier than running across the thing. Like, yeah, well, I turned a two-headed serpent to stone, and she went, I don't see no two-headed serpent turned to stone.
It was buried in rubble. It was buried in rubble from the fireball collapsing the ceiling.
Yeah, well. Screw you. Let's go this way.
I was actually unclear as to whether or not the game would actually let you go out that little hole in the ceiling, but we decided to just play the rest of the dungeon.
No, we didn't have a long enough rope, and we didn't have a grappling hook.
Whatever it was. So that was the end of that level 2. So then you go up through the door in here, and you go up the stairs. So you go up these stairs, and then at the top, there's a dragon. It breathes steam at you, causes some damage, makes it all slippery and shit. I think you just basically wore the thing out until it stopped breathing steam and withdrew.
No, we did the thing with.
Oh no, you were able to disarm the trap. Yeah.
We had him crawl underneath this. We cast a spell on him. He crawled underneath it and was able to disable.
Yeah. So they get through there.
I can't recall if I smashed him or not.
No, because it withdraws into a little doorway.
Okay.
Then you come around and you get through the hallway. Then just go left and right. You went to the right.
Yep.
First. And on the right was... Well, let me get to it. No.
What was the underworld?
It was Mechtalan, the land of the dead.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to go to right now because the first thing you did was you kind of did a... Oh, wait. No, wait. You did do a tour around it.
Yeah. We stayed on the path and we ignored everything.
This is kind of difficult to describe, but it's basically that. There's a little stone path. It looks like it's a small world. There's a little stone path that you can walk through, and there's all these little dioramas. There's a big hill in the middle.
And go figure, after It's a Small World, we had the Hall of Presidents, which was just a giant gibbering mouth. Spoilers.
They have a little path that goes all the way around. There's a hill in the middle with like devils, beating people. There's a fire one, a desert one. There's a little grassland one. There's a little ice one. There's a little swamp one.
What's great is that I read after reading this and going, oh wow, I could have died so many times in here if I decided to step off that path.
If you go off the path, and every one of the areas is like cursed with a spell that would have done bad things to you.
Yeah.
I
honestly thought, because in the middle of the map there was, because I don't look up, there's a giant hill.
I hope you learn to look up now.
With people pushing rocks, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to somehow use the rocks to smash through those thorns to get into the Elysium fields on the other side of it, so that we can. That's what my whole entire thing was gonna be.
The hill, I'll just read through all of them. So the hill would have had a push spell on it, which would have sent you into one of the other areas.
Which I did experience, but only later.
The Burning Sands
would have burned me.
Give you a bad bloody nose, causing a hit point of damage per round. The Wild Plains, so that was like the little Elysium part.
Yeah.
You had to save versus poison or have no desire to ever leave it. Then companions could try to talk you out of it, and you could save again. But eventually you would never want to leave, and I guess your companions have to drag you out. So if you end up in the grassland parts, you could all just stay there until you starve to death.
And the thing was,
if all of you had gone in there, there'd be nobody to save you.
But wait, this is me by this point. So you know what I would have done, right?
Sent
hey, Care, I have the rope on you.
Go in there.
Go in there. And he would have been like,
you could have used.
I don't want to leave, Everett. Pull him out.
Yeah. You could have used Care like a pipe bomb, but you chose not to do that. Flames, I guess this is a hard one to describe, but I guess the flames are here near the desert.
Suffice to say, it's like you get heat
metal
damage.
Spell, taking damage, yeah. If you're
and
wearing metal
then there's
armor,
icy plains where you get
the
fire damage.
Chill metal spells, ice damage. The marshes, that would have made you feel shortness of breath, and then you would start to take 1 to 4 points of damage per round from drowning.
Yeah.
There was a river, which would give you a forget spell. if you didn't save, you have to save versus magic or be affected by a forget spell, which would cause you to forget who you are and what your purpose is.
You realize that I completely avoided everything in here. Just
Spellcasters.
Once again, my apathy saved me.
Spellcasters would also forget their spells once per round. So talking about their highest, once it was left through, they would get kind of remember who they are and get their spells.
So now
back.
to pick back up the plot. So we followed.
Wait! And the pit of the worms.
Oh,
you have to save versus spell or flee the room for 3 turns from effect of a fear spell. So you avoided all that. Then you decided, let's go through the door at the end.
We literally went through the door, and
that brought you to the room of
what should my wandering eye
Zlazotaotl, mother goddess of the earth, which was actually you'd see a pile on the floor. The eyes opened up. You found that it was a gibbering mouther. Again, Rial destroyed the gibbering mouther by turning it to stone with his ring.
Yeah, this is where I used it for the
your last one.
The last one, yeah. Now, there's something in here.
That was a good spell.
Now that I am aware of it, on my next adventure, if we still have it, I'm using it immediately.
What?
So one of the things, Mira or Carrot. So there's these things in here, and one of them is a bunch of powdered potion.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, it's a strength potion. No, it wasn't. According to the book, it would have given whoever drunk it the power to speak to snakes, the power to speak to serpents. But they misidentified it.
Yeah, they misidentified it.
So it's like now I have a spoiler here, not as big as the other humongous spoiler.
Yep.
That we're going to be getting to in a minute. that these are things that could have stayed with me through other adventures, and now that I know about them, it's like, well, I'm going to munchkin this right away, and I know the.
Yep. So yeah, you turned the gibbering mouther into stone, then you smash it to pieces, so it cannot.
Out of anger, yeah. So it can.
Although I don't think you ever smashed the. Oh no, you did. No, you did.
No, we've technically smashed the snake.
The snake. Well, they had a snake got buried in rubble, but yeah. So the mouther was pretty tough actually, but luckily you sting it. You turned it to stone and smashed it. So then yeah, the flask had a dried powder of a strength potion. No, then the urn hold the dried heart of a mighty serpent warrior.
Oh, the heart, yeah.
Any character eating it will understand the speech of all serpents permanently, but will unable to speak it, him or herself. You can only understand it. Heart must be eaten by a single figure, since the power is transferable only to one person. So you'd be able to speak to snakes.
Yeah.
But only listen to snakes, not talk back to them. Then Myra got herself a nice weapon. Rial got a nice weapon earlier from that statue, and now Myra got herself a nice weapon. So 2 of these have +2 weapons, I believe.
Yeah, but Kara got the best deal, and he has his stupid Nereid's shift around his face.
Yep.
Pretty ladies.
So then I'm going to go back. So then you wandered around and you were unable to figure out how to get out of the land of the dead.
We rested.
You rested for a while in there. You turned that into your little apartment.
And then we went... Then that was the end of the episode, came back, and we changed around some spells because we realized we could change around our spells.
Yep.
Threw up our hands and said, we're ignoring everything in here. To no avail, use the stupid magic trap thing.
You left it to Small World. You went back down the hallway to the other way.
Yeah.
So now this one was kind of like difficult because there was actually a couple of hidden doors here.
Yeah.
You missed one of them, so I'm just going to go to the other one right now. So at the end of the other corridor, there was a room and a pile of what looked like gold. It actually turned out to be mold.
And I was obsessed with trying to get the gold. I actually thought there was something in, like it was going to pop up as like a skeleton warrior or something because there was a skull there. Mm-hmm. At least we got a good wedge out of it.
So anyway, yeah, I think you touched it. You had to save. You did save against it.
We walked all the way back through hell. Changed our spells again.
Yeah, it would have killed you if you had not saved against that spell, but you made it. You then
walked all the way back to hell.
Wait. Yeah, you had to go save your thing. Well, it's not that long if you look at it. It's like a 2-minute walk barely. And there's
but she had to sleep so she could recharge her spell. Then we went back in there and we killed that thing.
So, where does it say it? If it was ignited, so you did hit it with fire, and it blew up. So you killed the mold spores. Then you decided to look for a hidden door. You found a hidden door in this room. Yeah. You went through there.
Dope on a rope.
You sent Care through the hidden door.
Thief on a string, yeah.
He found
a mirror.
Mirror at the end of that. Yada yada yada.
By this point, we figured out the saving throws.
Yeah, I think at this point in time we figured out that the saving throws how to do it the right way. So you made it to the end. So the mirror, where is it? So the mirror Care saw he immediately looked at it, and he saw like a warrior, and then he froze in place, and him and the warrior started doing battle in his mind. At that point in time, you guys didn't hear a response. You just pulled him back, and I guess that broke the spell.
Yeah, because according to the thing, it's like he needs to be disturbed in order to do it.
Yeah.
But
And
you also should have saved. Apparently, rolled another saving throw.
No, he did. He made it.
He made it. Okay.
This was all lost because this is the lost episode that we didn't record.
Oh yeah, because it crashed on us. Yeah.
So,
oh yeah. So this is
This is the part that's not actually under recording. I only give a quick recap of it.
Well, this is going to be a larger recap because
then you end up in the chapel of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent. So basically, you go into this area, into this next room. There's 4 sides on this little date.
This is where to really oversell this thing here, the lost episode, where we were running on all cylinders, we started understanding okay, this is how the saving throws work. This is how the combat kind of works. Okay, we're getting it, and then it died, and then Audacity crashed, and we lose all our stuff for it.
Yep. So you go in there. There was a couple of things in this room. So there was 4 staircases that go up. So there was a circular room, and in the middle there was a little pillar thing, and there's 4 staircases going up, one on each side.
Yeah.
And there was also a mask in the room. You didn't touch the mask.
No.
The mask was trapped anyway.
I literally looked at it and made a mistake, or you made a mistake in the orientation of it.
Yeah.
And because of your mistake in the orientation, and you're like, oh wait, no, actually it's this one. I'm like, well, I already said I'm going up this stairwell here in this direction. I guess I'm going up the bloody stairway instead of the one with the mask or something like that. And we end up, and it's like, okay, so I'm on the right one. So we walk up that stairway, which was apparently the right one.
So let me find where the mask was. I just wanted to see what the hell it was. The mask will trigger a trap. So yeah, if you touched the mask, it would have hit a trap. You would have got caged in. That didn't happen. Anyway, so there was 4 different...
Yeah.
So the weird thing is about this room was there's an invisible Kuatl in this room coiled around the whole area.
Just watching us.
Watching you as soon as you came in. So there was 4 different... He also had an amulet of weakening, which I didn't really mention that would have made you feel weaker. Anyway, there was 4 different staircases. So I'll go over the ones you didn't go up. One of them had heads of gods. If you attempted to climb it, the heads would start to babble, and you would feel too weak to continue on. Eventually sit down on the steps and not move, and then your companions have to pull you out of the stairs.
So Kara would have been pulled off the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. One of them was draped in shadows. Lights could not dispel them. Any character who attempted to climb them would slip and fall back down, taking 0 to 2 points of damage, and they could not ever be climbed. Another one was continually changing its color, and the character attempting climbing would find themselves climbing and climbing, not getting anywhere. But they could just be descended without difficulty. So there's 3 bluff stairs.
Yeah.
So then you went to... You immediately chose the right stairs, though, the bloodstained stairs.
I think I was going up the gods' heads initially, from the direction I said, I'm going up this one. Going up the gods' heads because I wanted to do my whole shtick of almighty ancestors.
Yeah. But anyway...
but that worked
So
out.
then they would have to pull you back anyway.
Yeah.
So then So the fighter had to climb them, and you ended up climbing them anyway. By chance, somehow you ended up climbing them. You got to the top, there was a petrified warrior. It became flesh and attacked. You and Myra destroyed it. While Kara kind of just stood around watching, much like the zombie fight.
Yeah, because he's like, I can't do anything.
Because it was too narrow. It was only 2 people wide. Then you killed it. So then, basically, I read that Kuatl's dialogue. Because since you didn't actually try to leave, the Kuatl would have talked to you. But you didn't do that, so I just started its dialogue right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Then it said all this stuff. Interlopers, you have trespassed on a sacred chapel. Yada, yada, yada. So then we get to the next part, and I just continued right into the next part. So you passed the first test, and then it would have said yada yada yada. Then you had a crystal wall to deal with,
and we tried.
And
some
it told you to use your best tool of your most clever person to open the crystal walls. And you tried. I think you tried.
I was gonna throw the thief through the glass.
Yeah. You were thinking about that, but I don't think you ended up doing it. I'm not sure.
No, what ended up happening was the thief went. You played the thief and kind of went. My best tool. Well, how about I just use my hands? And he touched the thing and the glass broke.
Again, we don't have this on tape, so I can't really remember exactly what
happened.
I don't
remember. I just remember it was something like, I think I was going to throw the thief through the force
it said
field.
The crystal walls... No. It says the crystal walls are cold to the touch. You said something about touch the walls. So you figured out that you're supposed to use the thief, and you said something about let's have him check for traps, and when he touched the walls, he felt that they were cool to the touch. And then that's when he discovered that it melted away when his hand touched it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember this.
Okay, so then he made a circle, he made a hole in the wall, he's all jumped through quickly, and it sealed it behind you. Then, So that was the solution to that one. Then you got to the end and you suddenly felt very weak near the stone. Then there was a potion there.
Yeah.
Then the Kuato told you something about trust your souls to your gods.
Stop for a second to go rewind for a second here.
Yeah.
What you left out in that big thing where he said interlopers, yada yada yada. The yada yada yada. He was saying that if you don't solve these puzzles, you will die. You are being poisoned.
Oh yeah, you're poisoned. Yeah.
And the only way to live is to get this antidote that's in the middle. But what you just explained to me was there was no poison. It was a weakening spell. We could have just walked out of there.
Well, no, the Kuato would have stopped you from leaving.
He would have stopped at the leave?
He would have locked the door, yeah. He locks the door on you with his spell. It says it right here. But you didn't try to leave anyway.
Yeah, we didn't try to leave. We just tried to bumble into our thing. So, now back to that
So
spell.
then you were figured out that you were supposed to use Myra somehow.
Yeah, and I said she makes a prayer and she touches her staff.
There was a wall of force around the stone that couldn't be penetrated. The cleric was supposed to destroy the glyph by pouring holy water on it, touching with the holy symbol, or casting a bless prayer or some other spell of similar nature.
I think she casted, either she touched it with her symbol, or
you just told her to pray, but you didn't actually say to cast a spell on it.
Yeah.
So then eventually what she did was she
prayed and she
walking
touched it
forward with her holy symbol, and her holy symbol touched it, and that was what broke it anyway. So you did eventually kind of figure, you bumbled into that one too. Then it dissolved. And the potion was just a potion of healing. It did nothing. The Kuato materialized and hissed. Again, you did your old great ancestor stick on it, so it didn't attack you.
And then we released it for some reason.
And no, then it was just... Yeah, it smiled at you. Thank you for...
You got very happy, yeah.
Freeing it from its long imprisonment. I guess I had to wait for somebody to break that field. So then it gave you all gifts. Myra got a balance of harmony, which could detect good or evil.
So
Care got a mirror of the past, which can see a item or person and show something of its past.
Now, the last thing that it got. And just read what it says there without
explaining. And the fighter got
a
scroll, which read, "For you, the greatest gift of all." Then when you read it, you felt a chill and then a warmth across your back.
So at that time, we just went, "Okay, that's it."
Yeah.
What did it do? And everybody's like, "I don't know." So now this would have been great going forward because.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be continue on as these characters.
I forgot to tell them not to read this part.
You forgot to tell me not to read this part. Because now tell them what that warmth across my back was. Or do we want to keep it a surprise for our one listener?
Nah, nobody cares. Unbeknownst to you, a death servant has merged with your shadow. It's invisible to all and will travel with Rial until he's about to receive a fatal blow or means of certain death. If he has failed to save. The black shadowy form will then push him to safety and take the death stroke intended for him. Once its servant has done this, it will then dissipate into a cloud of black vapor. So there's one get at a death-free card.
Yeah, so it's like Spider-Man comes down and he goes, everybody gets just one, and then he goes away.
A very old Family Guy joke, but yes, it checks out.
Yeah, but that's like, that would have been nice to have been this organically, like, oh no, great, I screwed up, I'm about to die. What the hell? And then it's like a callback, like, yeah, remember when you got that stuff across your back?
Although it's probably good because I probably would have forgot you had that and just let you die.
Yeah.
So there was another hidden door that you never got to.
That was my big, like I was really interested in finding out what that tingle was, but wow, that was surprising to say the least.
That was the smoking mirrors.
Yeah.
Sazket Lepokas. So there would have been a bunch of mirrors in there. They did a bunch of crazy shit. Red, you'd see a ghostly form, falsely predict your death. Ghost image will take the form of a monster and strike the character's reflection, blah blah blah. So there was a bunch of bad things that could have happened to you in there.
So yeah,
black, speak an ancient omen, say command me and I shall answer. It's an image of a long dead native, blah blah blah. White, it would have. So a lot of these, I don't know what they did. I didn't really read them that well because you didn't go into that.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't anything big. It's like it was
white.
It was another puzzle.
Save versus breath weapons or be stunned. Yada yada yada. Blue. Opens a pool of water. Again, another drowning thing. Which I guess would have drowned you. Golden. Yeah, fluid in this basin is magical as long as it remains in the basin. If removed, it will be colored water. Anything struck into liquid will react to the fluids. The second time that the item, the same material is struck into the pool, it will turn to gold, but it only remains gold for 2 turns. Then there was a weird thing called Sun of Motion, which is another trap. It looks like an octopus or something.
Yeah, I would have. So this has been another place where I would have died.
And when you touch it, when it's struck the altar, it'll start to spin, and then basically it'll drag and bash everyone around the room and do nasty things.
Yeah,
to you.
so this is another spot that I avoided dying from.
Oh wait, Okay, then there was a gem in there. A cursed gem. If you touched it, it would have turned you into a whirling dervish, spinning out with such force that you take 2 points of damage until you're dead. You could not let go of the stone unless a remove curse was cast upon you.
Yeah. So once again, I avoided that.
So there was no point. Basically, there was no point in going into there at all. So then you decided, you went to the land of the dead and you couldn't quite figure out what to do. And I think it was Care or Myra had to tell you.
No, this is where I started going. It's something with the boulders. It's something with the boulders. We got to push those boulders.
Yep.
The boulders.
Yep.
And it was Myra Care going, look up.
Somebody said, well, Myra, I think you asked Myra, and she's like, well, we're trying to go up, remember?
Oh, yeah, and then we all looked up. Oh, hey, there's a hole in the ceiling.
And
that's
you realized
not a sun.
that there was actually light coming from the ceiling.
That ain't no sun.
Ain't no sun. This ain't no video game. And
yeah.
And so that's what you figured out, is that you had to go through the ceiling. So then you managed to go up there. There was a trap door. You had to get up to it. So you had to get past the stupid thing then the hill. You managed to save. It didn't push you off. You sent, I think, Care up there first.
Care, we were able to get up.
He went up the chute. He found that it was really blocked at the top.
He was able to move it.
He used a strength spell. He pushed the sewer lid off the top like a ninja turtle. Got out. Then realized he had to take the rope wasn't long enough. He had to go back down to see who could grab it. A spider attacked him. He saved against his the poison. He then went down and got Hughes. Hughes grabbed onto the rope. He pulled Hughes both up.
And then out of spite, and
he came up and he shot the spider with a magic missile.
It's
killed it.
Not today, Death. Not today.
He shot it and he fucking killed it. The spider is dead. Hughes all went up there, and he's made it to the top level. So then you end up in another room.
Another room that I just kind of blundered my way through, ignored everything.
Hound of the Bat. So there was 2 little things in there. One of them had a shell of a crayfish in there. Another bluff.
Which I immediately started talking to when we walked in.
Water in the fountain was actually a water weird, which would have grabbed you and dragged you into there to drown you. But you managed to avoid that by not touching it. You would have had to again. I don't know how you were supposed to know this. Was I supposed to inform you that only purified water can kill it? I don't know. But you didn't touch it. You just went through there. There was actually, if you
it was the key that I needed to get out of the dungeon instead of the
key that you needed to get out of there was in
another key. Because there was another one all the way down at the vampire.
No, that key was the one to get past the Minotaur, I think.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
So then you go into the next room, which we're talking about. This is Sacred Shetzaashtian. That was a centaur, a mummified centaur. So you go in there. He was a guardian of the gateway to the underworld, which you just came from.
Yep.
He was a mummy. So basically, as soon as you tried to fuck with him... Again, another thing that was actually quite aware of its surroundings, but just looked like a statue. You went over and fucked with him. He came to life and attacked you. You just had Myra
a stone ring would have been good at that point, I tell you what.
You just need endless stone rings. That's all you need to beat this game. So you... If only you hadn't wasted one on the monk. So, Myra...
Shriekly little gurgle. Ah!
Myra casts... Turn undead on him, and he ran off into the corner, which is just nothing there. Then
it was a trap. He wanted me to follow him to see what's down there, and he would attack.
I don't think there was a trap, though.
No, that was the trap. He wanted you to follow.
Yeah, but there was nothing to help him. He still would have just been cornered by you. So yeah, there was some other treasure around there, but it wasn't that great. You go to the next area, the Jade Wall. Again, because you were coming from inside, you just pushed it over and it just did nothing. You're like, all right, moving on. So then there was the wind tunnel. Yeah,
the one that I did not need to interact with.
You didn't have to touch it all, but you sent Care to try to open up the hatch in the ceiling. It sent wind. It blew you all over. You just had to crawl along the floor to get out. Again, I think Care managed to crawl out. Myra was just like, "Fuck this! I'm just crawling along the floor with him." Because there was all
because I was trying to come up with a
there was little handholds in the floor.
I was trying to come up with this big convoluted way of getting through here. Yeah.
But again, since Myra and Care both have higher intelligence than Real, I just said, Myra just looked at it and was like, all right, gets down on all four and just starts crawling her way out. She's like, you can stay here and do whatever you want, man. And she just left. So then he followed her.
It's like, I hate her.
For some reason, I played her as a bitch, and Care is like his sub, who does whatever he says because he's like a dog now. There was an area you missed here, which was a secret door. If you had touched one of these little gaps in the ceiling, not the ceiling, but the high part of the wall, you would have found the hidden room of Nawal, the alter ego. Basically, what was in there was a little mummified guy again.
Yeah.
If you touched his scepter, Well, it's a tomb, man. As Myra said, let's not touch anything in here. This is a tomb. Like, early on, I think back in episode 1 or 2, she told you that. So basically, if you touch his scepter... Again, it was basically another doppelganger thing. Some of you would think you would have... You turned to stone, the statue would have turned to flesh and blood. And turned into a chaotic version evil of whoever touched it. And then basically the same thing, attacking and taking the place of that person.
I don't know. If we had stayed in this dungeon long enough, we would have just naturally become chaotic evil, I think.
Luckily, there wasn't too many other sentient people in here with you. So you didn't go in there.
Nope.
Then you went to the next area, the final area, really. The valve room, which is very difficult. A valve puzzle, which we all hate.
Yeah.
We all hate those valve puzzles. So, you went in there, and you just had to fuck around, turn this thing, flip a little switch, open a little thing. Again, I couldn't quite figure out how this works, so basically, you use, like, one thing, you'd open a door. I mean, you turn the thing, and then it opens a door, but then it removed a wall side, but then another portcullis thing fell. Anyway, none of you could open it, so then I kind of decided to let you off by just letting you just like undo it and then jamming the thing open or however the hell he's got out of there.
Yeah, I just.
You just kept fucking with the valve until it opened somehow.
No, it's like what we did is we had it blocked.
Yeah. With
the protocol, and then portcullis was up, and then we're like, okay, it's like so we waited there, and then Care ran from one end to the other, and we pulled him on the rope because there was enough space, and we just went through the portcullis before it fell. Basically.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But again, this game is pretty merciless when it comes to, like, gates. Like, for some reason, they're like, oh, everybody can only try it once. Ever. And if you don't raise it, you're basically screwed. Like, I don't know why they were so merciless in these old games, but they were.
Well, according to what they wrote, the portcullis was controlled by the stuff over there. Since those things didn't break, we can do it as many times as we want. I don't care what.
Yeah, basically, I just said, fuck it, I'm done now. So then you get outside, get to back to the surface level, you get to the top part of the temple that's visible from outside on top of this hill. And so basically this is the ruins. This is the big old statue of the bat guy.
Yeah, the top floor. So a lot of cool things up here. And what did I do? I went, okay, and I just walked straight out.
So if you had fucked around here...
I refuse to stay. I refuse to do anything.
Yeah,
here.
There would have been shit there. Like, there would have been a trap door you could have fell back into that same room you just got out of. There could have been nasty stuff that would have happened to you. And you just, at this point in time, you'd had enough.
Yeah.
I think if you looked at the statue, bad things would have happened too.
Yep.
Where does it say? Yada yada yada. Close inspection of the altar. No. Well, yeah, it could cleave you in two, some part of the altar. But where the hell's the part with the bat? Here he is. The marble statue of Chakmul. Okay, a reclining figure. Chazamas. Here you go. Kamadzotz, the bat god who this temple is dedicated to, was there. Yada yada yada.
Wait. The bat god was literally upstairs, like right there.
Yeah.
And we just completely ignored him and went, nope, sorry, bye.
I'm just trying to see where the hell that thing says when you look into its eyes.
We didn't look into its eyes. It's like, we literally, I think you tried to...
There was treasure. Beneath the altar, there was treasure.
I think you were like, hey, do you want to look around here?
2,500 GP. Wait, hold on, I'm just trying to read this. 2,500 GP, 80 silver chased goblets, 20 gold-plated statuettes, blah, blah, blah. All this shit, all this expensive shit was underneath that altar. Yada, yada, yada. No, where the hell is the thing?
Yeah, I literally walked up here and you were trying to look like, are you sure you don't want to explore? And it's like, no, we're out. We're gone.
Oh, here we go. Here he goes. Oh, it was only when Swing was moved to reveal the secret door. But I think basically the secret door is already open because you had done it from the inside. Yeah. Because otherwise you would have had... Basically, this has rules for how to open it from the outside, which is put the blood into this little basin thing.
Yeah, to open it from the outside.
But basically the inside was turning that crank thing. So the eyes started to glow. The eyes would have glown, and if you looked at the eyes, you had to make a save versus rods or be paralyzed. So yeah. So anyway, so the point was, at that point in time, you got out. Myra said, fuck it, I'm leaving, bye. And then the two of you were like, should we explore this area? You're like, nah. Wait, Myra, we're coming. And then you chased after her. And that's where the little... a circle went, rip, and the cartoon ending happened.
We all literally went, nope, and we walked out of there.
You all walked out with your happy to have your lives. And, because I said, luckily, if you had not done that, then one of the floors would have collapsed. The trapdoor would have collapsed, and it would have taken you back into, like, the previous stupid room that you just got out of. So that would have been annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got the fuck out of there. So now you got your characters. Oh yeah, and then Care and Real decided to start their own dating show called Real Care of Love.
Nobody gets that reference. They're all too young for this.
Okay, so back like 10 years ago, almost, no, like 8 or 9 years ago, VH1
Sorry, people, now we're explaining our references.
VH1 had a dating show called Real Chance of Love, where these two guys who had been on some other dating show basically had a bunch of chicks come to their house, try to date them. And it was so clever because I called him Real Care of Love, and I was amazed he got that reference. It was trash reality TV from the 2000s.
And I don't like trash television that much.
So anyway, so that's where we're at. So you guys got away. You have very little treasure to your name now.
Yeah, I know. So no leveling up, really.
I don't know if you leveled up. I didn't bother to calculate experience or anything like that.
I know. It's based on our goal at the end of it, how much money we got out of this.
Oh, yeah. Actually, now I can go through that. There was a little scoring sheet here.
This, I think, would be better to do off the air to try to figure out what the experience was actually.
No, but I'm just going to tell them what the scoring sheet said. I'm just going to give you some examples.
Yeah.
There was shit like, at the beginning, we were supposed to cast Strength Spell and Slow Poison. There was, like, different little things that they could tell you. But this is for the tournament one, not for your actual, long-term play like we did.
Yeah.
So some of the things that give you a positive, some things that give you a negative. And being the statuettes in the first room would have given you a negative each. Attacking the crayfish would have given you a negative.
I technically attacked him by pulling my bow on him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, you could have used stone to flesh on the exit to get through.
Oh, yeah. I could have shaped the door.
Yep. There's a lot of things you could have done on here.
That's actually cool. I could have just, yeah. But now I have that in mind, because not only do I have my stone shape, which we have to figure out how much that thing's worth, because according to the rules, I can only use it as much as its worth of it is.
Yeah.
That English no sound good.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, additional points. 3 characters escaped alive, plus 100 each. Yay!
So 300 points right now.
You got 300 points plus a little bit. I guess the rest of the points aren't really that great, because they only give you like plus 3 to plus 7 each about. None of them are that great.
Dungeons and Backing, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
Score each team on performance after all parties completed. In order to avoid negative scores, 100 points should be added to each team's total. You get 100 for participating. So plus 100 each for the characters escaping alive, so you got like 400 points.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're supposed to level up or not. Again, Care is a multi-class character. We don't know how to level him up. Because AD&D does not explain shit to you.
I think we need to find another character, but it's like I like the character of Care, but I think we need to find somebody to split them up into 2 different parts and go, here's our thief, and then here's our mage.
Like an anime where he just turns into 2 different people.
Yeah.
Care and React or something. One of them's just a mage, one of them's just a thief. He splits into 2.
One's a Felix, the other's an Oscar.
Mm-hmm. So now that's done. And so now we decided to keep those characters, at least until they die horrible deaths.
Well, I get my just 1 now, so we gotta remember that I have that from now on.
Now we're gonna play through one of the other classic adventures. We're gonna figure that out.
But we haven't decided which yet.
There's plenty to go through. I chose this one just because it had 3 pre-made characters, honestly. It's not even in the top 10. I was looking at like the top, 20 or so adventures of all time. This was like number 13, I think, or something like that.
Honestly, it's not that bad. It would have been better if I had more people, but it's like... Well, at least I role-played 2 of them. The other one I didn't really role-play at all because she barely got used. She was the muscle for some reason.
No, Myra was more of the brains.
Yeah, but she liked to use her club to smash things.
Yeah. But she was also this one who would be like, "This is stupid. Let's get out of here. Look up, stupid." Like, I hope you've learned to look up now.
Yes, I've learned to look up.
If you learned anything from reading Worm, it should be look up.
Dogs don't look up.
No, pigs don't look up. I think dogs look up, but pigs don't. But anyway,
that's because pigs have no hope.
Anything to look up.
Yes, I'm going to be looking up from now on.
Whenever you're in a dungeon. But you won't be going through one like that again. Now you're going to be like diving into dungeons from the top down. So you can.
Instead, I'll be looking up longingly, going, "I wish I could go back there again, back from this dungeon again."
Dungeons and back again. So yeah, there's that. Any final words? We're at about an hour 29.
No, I think that's a good breakdown of what we did. Sorry if it was a little bored you, but this is more for our
Sorry,
sake.
one listener, Navi.
Yeah, because hey, listen.
This was just a recap, so now he knows how it works. So now the next game, now he knows how it works. So I'm not pulling any punches now. Now we're gonna play.
Now we got to figure out how the combat actually works, and then.
And I'm not gonna let your companions help you quite as much. You're gonna have to help yourself a bit more. I can't just be like, look through there, stupid. It's like, when in doubt, comb the whole area, all 3 dimensions. That's the only advice I can give you.
Yeah, but you're going to give up on that rule eventually because of the fact that I do weird things to you, and then you get mad because then you have to figure, it's like, I don't want to figure out how you're going to jump.
Let's grapple him.
I don't want to figure out how, can I grapple him and give him like a suplex? What is that? No! Okay, then I'm just going to hit him with my sword. Who was I trying to grapple again? Was it the...
monk, maybe? I don't know. The monk?
Hug him and suplex him is all I remembered, and you're like, no.
Then I'm just like, I can't even find the grapple rules, man. Fuck it. I don't care.
Face in hand, no grappling rules.
Hashtag no grappling.
No grappling. Hashtag Weaver Dice.
Mm-hmm. Weaver Dice River City.
The
only Weaver Dice podcast on the entire internet.
These 2 guys. God of Foam.
These 2 guys who play it, and one of them plays a foam using PRT agent.
So everybody, that was Dungeons and Back again. We'll see you next time with our new adventure.
Hashtag skeet skeet. Hashtag got a foam.
Hashtag Blaze Pizza.
Hashtag dropping foam. Hashtag Blaze Pizza.
Goodbye. So long, farewell.
I'm getting stopped now.
Elvidas and adieu.